Did you know that over 3 million Canadian seniors could lose access to key benefits in 2026 just because they missed a new rule? That's right. This year, Canada rolled out legal changes that are already affecting retirement income, driving licenses, taxes, and even how you access your government payments. And the worst part? Most seniors don't even know these updates exist. Imagine waking up to find your pension delayed or your driver's license suspended because of a new vision test requirement. Or worse, realizing too late that you could have received hundreds more each month just by ticking a box you didn't know had changed. These aren't future possibilities, they're happening now. In this video, we'll break down the 10 biggest new laws in 2026 that every Canadian senior needs to know, in simple terms, with real-life advice you can use. Don't skip this, your benefits might depend on it. Number 1. Flexible retirement changes in CPP and OAS. Canada's retirement system just got a major update, and it's something every senior needs to understand. In 2026, new laws have expanded how and when you can start collecting your Canada Pension Plan, CPP, and Old Age Security, OAS. Before, most seniors simply accepted retirement at 65 as the default. But now, the government is offering more flexibility, allowing you to either take your benefits earlier, with a reduction, or delay them past 65 for higher monthly payments. This shift gives seniors the power to tailor retirement income to their personal health, work plans, and financial needs. This isn't just a policy change, it's a potential financial game changer. Delaying CPP to age 70, for example, can increase your payments by up to 42%, which could make a big difference in your quality of life down the road. On the flip side, if you need cash sooner due to rising costs or health reasons, you can now access your benefits earlier than before. But this choice comes with trade-offs, so it's important to weigh all your options. Many seniors don't realize how much money they're leaving behind simply by not adjusting their plan. So what should you do? Start by logging into your My Service Canada account and reviewing your personalized pension estimate. Speak to a financial advisor or retirement planner, even just once, to understand how delaying or advancing your benefits might affect your long-term income. These new rules give you control, but only if you know how to use them. Don't let this new flexibility go to waste. It could mean the difference between just getting by and living comfortably in retirement. Number 2. New driving test rules for seniors. If you're over the age of 70 and still behind the wheel, there's a new law in 2026 that you cannot afford to ignore. Provinces across Canada are tightening their senior driver screening rules, and that means your next license renewal might not be as simple as filling out a form. For many seniors, you'll now be required to complete mandatory vision tests, medical evaluations, and in some cases, cognitive assessments before your license is renewed. This is part of a broader national safety push to reduce road accidents involving older drivers, and it's already in effect in provinces like Ontario and British Columbia. What makes this change so important is how easily it can catch people off guard. Imagine showing up to renew your license only to be told you need a doctor's report or have to pass a reaction time test. These new requirements don't just affect your ability to drive. They impact your independence, your freedom, and your ability to get to appointments or even go grocery shopping. And while it may sound intimidating, these tests are actually designed to help you stay on the road safely for as long as possible. But the key is being prepared, and many seniors simply aren't. So, how do you stay ahead of this? First, check with your provincial transportation office to see what age-specific requirements apply to you in 2026. Schedule an eye exam and a routine physical checkup well in advance of your license renewal date. If a cognitive test is required, it's better to know early so you can practice and prepare. Don't wait until the last minute and risk losing your driving privileges. These new rules aren't about taking away your freedom. They're about keeping you, and everyone else on the road, safe. Number 3. CPP and OAS payment increases. In 2026, there's some good news for seniors relying on government benefits. Both the Canada Pension Plan, CPP, and Old Age Security, OAS, have received official payment increases. These updates are tied to inflation adjustments and a broader effort by the government to help older Canadians cope with a rising cost of living. While the increases may not seem huge at first glance, over the course of a year, they can add up to hundreds of dollars, and in retirement, every dollar counts. But here's the catch. You only benefit if your income falls within the updated qualification thresholds. What's changed specifically? The maximum monthly CPP payout for new retirees has gone up, and so has the basic OAS benefit for seniors aged 65 and over. For those over 75, the OAS has a separate boost that started in 2022 and continues into 2026. These increases are indexed to inflation, so they help your purchasing power keep pace with rising prices, something every senior is feeling at the grocery store, pharmacy, or when paying utilities. If you haven't checked your statement lately, you might be surprised by what you're eligible for now, especially if you've continued working or had changes to your income. Here's what you should do. Log into your My Service Canada account and review your current payment amounts. Make sure your income information is up to date, especially if you had a recent drop in earnings or retirement income, which could increase your benefits. And if you're turning 75 soon, remember that you may qualify for an additional OAS top-up automatically. Staying informed about these payment updates ensures you're getting every cent you've earned, and that can make a real difference in your financial security this year. Number 4. Changes to Guaranteed Income Supplement. For low-income seniors, the Guaranteed Income Supplement, GIS, is a lifeline, providing monthly, tax-free payments to help cover basic living costs. But in 2026, new eligibility rules have come into effect, and they could impact thousands of seniors across Canada. One major change relates to seniors who have recently immigrated or are under sponsorship agreements. Previously, some seniors could qualify for GIS despite being sponsored by a family member. Now, under the new law, many of those individuals will be excluded for receiving GIS until the sponsorship period officially ends. This shift is causing confusion and, in some cases, unexpected financial hardship. What's especially concerning is how easy it is to miss these changes. Many seniors are used to the idea that once they turn 65 and qualify for OAS, they automatically get GIS if their income is low. But that's no longer guaranteed. If your tax filings are late, if your marital status changes, or if you're listed under a sponsorship agreement, your GIS could be reduced or even stopped, without warning. The federal government says these updates are meant to tighten eligibility and ensure benefits go to those most in need, but the reality is many seniors are being left in the dark. So how can you protect yourself? First, make sure you file your taxes on time every year. Even if you have no income, GIS is income tested and relies on your tax return. Second, if you're sponsored by family, speak to Service Canada to understand exactly when your GIS could begin. And finally, check your benefit status regularly through your online account. A small mistake or outdated detail could cost you hundreds each month. Staying informed is the best way to ensure you don't lose out on critical support. Number 5. Federal tax changes for seniors. In 2026, Canada introduced significant updates to federal tax brackets, and if you're a senior, this could directly impact how much money you keep from your pensions, investments, or part-time income. One of the most notable changes is the lowering of the first federal income tax rate from 15% to 14%, which may sound small, but could save you hundreds of dollars annually, depending on your income level. For retirees living on a fixed income, even a slight tax cut can make a meaningful difference, especially as day-to-day expenses continue to rise across the country. But this change doesn't automatically mean you'll pay less. Your tax savings depend on how your income is structured, whether it's from CPP, OAS, RRSP withdrawals, or part-time work. If you're drawing from multiple income sources, you could be bumped into a higher bracket or lose credits without realizing it. That's why understanding how the new thresholds work is crucial. Additionally, tax credits for age, pension income, and medical expenses still exist, but seniors often miss out on them simply because they didn't claim them properly. With the new tax rules in place, it's more important than ever to file carefully and accurately. So what should you do right now? Before the next tax season, schedule a quick consultation with a tax advisor who understands senior income structures. Bring your pension details, investment income, and any medical receipts. Even better, use CRA's online tax calculator to estimate how much you'll owe or get back under the new rates. These tax changes are meant to ease the burden for seniors, but only if you take the right steps to apply them. Don't wait until tax time to find out you missed a benefit you were entitled to all year. If you made it this far, We'd love to hear from you. Which of these new laws affects you or someone you know? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're finding this helpful, please subscribe. It's just one click, but it helps us keep creating content that truly supports our senior community. Number 6. Easier work and relocation with new mobility law. In 2026, Canada passed the One Canadian Economy Act, a groundbreaking change that removes many of the barriers between provinces when it comes to working, relocating, or offering professional services. This law makes it significantly easier for Canadians, including seniors, to move from one province to another without facing delays, retraining requirements, or unnecessary paperwork. If you're a retired professional offering part-time consulting or simply planning to move closer to family in a different province, this law could remove a lot of the red tape that used to slow things down. Previously, if you were licensed or certified in one province, you might have had to reapply or meet different criteria just to offer the same service somewhere else. For example, if you were a retired nurse offering private caregiving or consulting work, or a trad espresso doing small projects, moving provinces could mean waiting months to get recertified. Now, with this law, there's nationwide recognition of most credentials, making it much easier to continue light work or volunteer roles across Canada. For seniors who are semi-retired or still professionally active, this opens doors that were previously closed. So how can you take advantage of this change? First, if you're considering relocation or offering services in another province, even on a part-time or seasonal basis, check with your professional association or licensing body to see how this law applies to your specific field. Many associations are already adapting their systems to align with the new federal guidelines. If you delayed a move or work opportunity because of red tape, now might be the perfect time to reconsider. This law isn't just for big corporations. It's designed to make life easier for individuals too, especially seniors looking for flexibility, opportunity, or a fresh start in a new province. Number 7. New CRA payment dates and rules. Starting in January 2026, the Canada Revenue Agency, CRA, has rolled out a new schedule for how and when seniors receive their government payments, including OAS, CPP, GIS, and Gulf Standard Time/Hawaii Standard Time credits. While the amounts themselves haven't drastically changed beyond inflation updates, the timing of payments has shifted slightly. For seniors living on a fixed income, even a small delay in payment could affect rent, medication purchases, or monthly budgeting. That's why understanding the new deposit dates is more important than ever, especially if you rely heavily on these payments to manage daily expenses. Under the updated rules, some payments that used to arrive near the end of the month may now show up earlier or later, depending on weekends, bank processing times, or provincial differences. Additionally, CRA is tightening its monitoring of direct deposit information. If your banking details are outdated or incorrect, you could experience payment delays or even missed deposits. This is especially risky for seniors who've recently moved, switched banks, or haven't logged into their CRA account in a while. What used to be automatic now requires more attention to avoid interruptions in your income. To stay ahead, log into your CRA My account and double-check your direct deposit details, including the linked bank account number. Make a note of the updated 2026 benefit payment calendar, which is published on the CRA website. If you notice any unusual delays, report them immediately rather than waiting. And if you're not yet signed up for direct deposit, do it now. Mailed checks are more likely to be delayed or lost. These changes may seem small, but for seniors who rely on consistent income, missing even one payment cycle can be stressful. Stay informed, stay updated, and avoid the disruption before it starts. Number 8. New digital ID and license renewal rules. In 2026, several provinces across Canada have started rolling out digital IDs and updated driver's license renewal systems, with specific rules now targeting seniors. While the idea of managing everything online sounds convenient, it comes with new steps and requirements, especially for older Canadians. Many provinces now require in-person health or vision checks for seniors at renewal time, even if you previously renewed online. This means that simply logging in and clicking renew may no longer be enough to keep your license valid. What makes this more complicated is that not all provinces are following the same process. In places like Ontario and British Columbia, seniors over a certain age may now be flagged for mandatory testing, not because of any driving incident, but just due to age-related policy changes. This includes assessments for reaction time, eyesight, and basic mobility, which must be completed before a new license is issued. Seniors who miss or ignore these notices could find themselves driving with an expired license, which can lead to legal and insurance issues. And for those unfamiliar with digital portals or online forms, the process can feel confusing and even overwhelming. So what should you do now? First, don't assume your old renewal method still applies. Check your provincial transportation website or contact the licensing office directly to confirm what steps you'll need based on your age. If a vision or medical check is required, book it early to avoid last-minute stress. And if you struggle with online systems, ask a family member or a local community service to assist. These new digital systems are designed for convenience, but without proper support, they can create barriers. Staying ahead of your license renewal will keep you safe, legal, and confidently on the road. Number 9. Stronger privacy and data protection laws. In 2026, Canada introduced a wave of new privacy and data protection regulations aimed at giving individuals, especially vulnerable groups like seniors, more control over their personal information. With so many services now operating online, including healthcare portals, banking, and government benefits, seniors are more exposed than ever to data misuse and cyber threats. The updated laws focus on how companies collect, store, and use your data, with stricter requirements for consent, transparency, and security. This means you now have more rights over your digital footprint, but you also need to understand how to use them. One key feature of these new laws is the right to know and delete. If a company collects your information, whether it's a pharmacy, a retirement service, or an online store, you now have the right to ask exactly what they've gathered and request that it be removed. There are also tougher penalties for companies that mishandle your information or experience a data breach without informing you. These updates were introduced because of rising cases of identity theft and fraud, particularly targeting older Canadians who may not always spot the warning signs until it's too late. So how can you protect yourself under these new rules? First, make sure you're using two-factor authentication on all your key accounts, especially those connected to government services or banking. Second, check the privacy settings on your smartphone, tablet, or email account and update them regularly. Finally, if you ever get suspicious emails, phone calls, or texts asking for personal information, do not respond. Contact the organization directly to confirm if the message is real. These laws are designed to protect you, but your awareness and action are what truly keep your information safe in a digital world. Number 10. New provincial laws impacting seniors. While federal changes often get the spotlight, many of the most impactful new laws for seniors in 2026 are coming directly from the provinces. Each province has introduced its own set of updates that affect seniors differently, from healthcare access and housing rules to property tax relief and caregiver support programs. For example, Ontario has revised its property tax deferral program, allowing more low-income seniors to postpone payments. Meanwhile, British Columbia has introduced new subsidies for home care and mobility aids, helping seniors live independently for longer. These are not minor updates. They can make a real difference in both your finances and your quality of life. The challenge is that these provincial rules often go unnoticed. Many seniors assume federal benefits are all that matter, not realizing that their own province might offer more generous or targeted support, or, in some cases, new requirements that could lead to lost benefits if ignored. In Quebec, changes to prescription drug coverage are already affecting thousands of seniors, while Alberta has introduced stricter eligibility checks for seniors' housing programs. Because these laws vary widely by province, there's no one-size-fits-all answer. What benefits your neighbor in another province enjoys might not apply to you, and vice versa. So how do you stay informed? Start by visiting your provincial government's website, specifically the Seniors or Social Services section. Look for programs related to housing, health care, transportation, and financial support. If navigating government websites feels overwhelming, call your local senior support center or ask a family member to help. Even better, sign up for newsletters or alerts so you're notified when laws change. These provincial updates might not make national headlines, but they can offer critical support or cause avoidable setbacks if you're not paying attention. The laws may have changed, but your ability to stay informed and prepared is more powerful than ever. From adjusting your retirement plans to protecting your digital privacy, each of these new 2026 rules can either work for you or catch you off guard if you're not paying attention. Seniors are often the first to feel the effects of legal changes, and yet the last to hear about them. That's why taking a few moments now to review your benefits, check your documents, and update your records can save you from major headaches later in the year. Whether it's a small pension adjustment, a missed test for your driver's license, or a hidden provincial benefit you didn't know existed, these aren't just legal updates. They're opportunities to improve your financial security, protect your independence, and make smarter choices for the future. Remember, knowledge is power, especially when it comes to your rights and benefits. Don't wait for a letter in the mail or a call from a government office. By staying proactive, you take control, not just of the law, but of your life. Now it's your turn. Which of these new laws surprised you the most? Drop it in the comments and let's talk about it. Your experiences might help someone else too. And if you found this video helpful, please consider supporting us. We put a lot of time, research, and care into every episode to make sure you get the clearest and most useful information. So don't forget, subscribe to our channel. It's just one click, but it means the world to us. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.